tract 6 at the Mule Shoe Project. It's about 10 acres in size. This is one of the few tracts that actually does directly border the conservation area, or I guess borders the county road in the conservation area. That's along its entire west side. So if we look at the property here, again, it's about 10 acres. It has about 330 feet of direct frontage on County Road 525. That's Hickory County 525. And literally directly across the road is the Mule Shoe Conservation Area. So if we zoom out a little bit, and the labels are going to get a little funky when we do that. Let's move this down here. Okay, so the shaded area is a portion of the conservation area. You've got the Little Niangua River that crosses right through it, which you can use for fishing and swimming and canoeing and kayaking and all that good stuff. Why don't we zoom in here? So having that directly adjacent to the property is pretty spectacular. You can kind of have your own private acreage and do your thing, and then you can venture into that public land as well. And by the way, there are camping areas, public camping areas within the Mule Shoe Conservation Area, less than a mile from this property. You can camp, I believe we were told, up to 14 days in a 30-day period. It's free camping. I mean, they're primitive campsites, but there is some nice spots where you can kind of set up shop. So if you come out here with your camper or RV or whatnot, and haven't done any kind of driveway on your property, you do have probably the option of camping in the conservation area just a mile down the road. So that's pretty cool. Well, the conservation area is right across, but the designated camping areas are about a mile down the road. As we look at the aerial map here, this is a Google-based map. It's a wintertime aerial, so we're not seeing any leaves on the trees. But that can be handy because that makes it easier for us to differentiate kind of between the hardwood and the cedar trees. So in this case, if you look toward the west side of the property, the darker green areas, those are going to be cedar trees. They're generally either cedar or pine, and in this area and being out there, we know that those are going to be cedar trees by and large. As you go easterly, you still have a few cedar, but it's mostly hardwood trees once you get a couple hundred feet east of the county road on this property. You can actually see an old trail that comes in from the north way up here by the old building site on track 2 and goes diagonally across several of the tracks, including track 6. So that's not an access easement for anybody. That just happens to be an old trail. I mean, you see them all over the place, and probably someone used it for hunting at some point or whatnot. We actually used that trail when we were doing some of the drone videos just because it was convenient, but that is not an easement for anybody to cross over your property there, just so you know. So why don't we go to a topo map, kind of check this out. And this is an interesting tract. You've got, of course, the direct county road frontage and conservation area frontage. As we look at the property, if you're looking for a level building site, really, well, you've got two options. And this is just based on what we kind of know about the area and about topo maps. This is showing that toward the middle, you've got what's probably a fairly level area. And toward the east side, you've got what is essentially a flat area right here. This is kind of a ridge on the far east side. That's going to be the high point on the property toward the east side. As you go westerly, it's sloping down. The low point is going to be this valley that goes from north to south over the property toward the west side. So from the county road itself, it essentially slopes down to that valley area, back up. You've got somewhat of a level area here, especially south of center. And then once you get up to the east side, you have what appears to be a perfectly level area. So if you wanted to have the largest, flattest site, likely it would be this east side, but you would have to create some kind of trail to get there from the county road. So from the county road itself, if you're coming in from the south, you're kind of going up a hill, and the west side of the property, you can check out the ground video. That'll give you a better idea of it. It kind of goes up and levels and goes up and levels. But there was at least one spot that we saw just while we were taking the video that looked like you could probably at least do some kind of driveway to get your truck, your four-wheel drive, 100 feet off the road or whatever. And then from there you could work on putting a trail to essentially wherever you like on the property. This middle area would be cool. This east side would be awesome, but you'd probably have a few days worth of work as far as creating a trail or a driveway to get there. Obviously, you can't log any of the properties until they've been paid for in full. We do often give people written permission to remove timber for a driveway or a building site. We have you need written permission from us to do that, but we've got an easy process in place. We used to have to do a site visit, and it would take several days or weeks depending on the property. Now we can do most of it via text and email, just with some photos. But just get a hold of us, and we'll help you out with that. Pretty simple. So I mean, it's a property with a ton of potential. Again, there is no driveway on it right now that we could see. Looked like there's at least one spot where, with a little bit of work, you could pull a four-wheel drive at least 100 feet off the county road. But ultimately, I mean, if you wanted just an awesome site for building and camping and privacy, if you could get back to this east side, that would be amazing. So great tract. I mean, seldom if ever, other than this project, do we have properties that have county road frontage in the first place, and then the county road frontage and the conservation land directly across is fantastic. By the way, power is in the area. Likely the closest power within the rural development would be coming off of tract 1 or 2, which puts it maybe a little over a quarter mile. There is a neighbor to the east, which likely has power, but within the development itself, it's already on tract 1 and 2. So it is in the area. That's nice to have that nearby if you do need it. But yeah, awesome tract. A lot of potential on this one. We would be really excited to see someone come in and do a driveway back either toward the middle or toward the east side. Meanwhile, you've got that conservation area. You've got the Little Niangua River that you can use and play in. Pretty spectacular situation. So limited number of these tracts. This is one of the nice large one, being about 10 acres in size. If you have any questions, just let us know.